One thing that makes living on a boat particularly difficult sometimes is living in the extreme heat. We are now here in North Carolina in July and are currently in a heat wave while we are still waiting for our broken AC to be replaced or repaired under warranty. So our two goals in the next few days are to solve our heat issue, at least temporarily, and to also check out a new super cool little North Carolina waterfront town that we have heard about quite a few times from different cruising friends. Thank you.
Bye guys! Have a good one!
We'll try, you too. Those are our friends that we met down in Beaufort, and they just got that 1260, and they've just been I've been giving them some tips and tricks here, going up the inside of North Carolina instead of going around Hatteras, but we hung out with them last night, had dinner on their boat. Super nice people.
We just had to say goodbye to our other sailing friends, Craig and Sarah, and we made so many friends when we were here. They hooked us up with, obviously, Craig and Sarah, and then they had a bunch of friends that were here on school buses that we got to meet and hang out with, and everyone was just super nice. And I would say that, like, van life, bus life, boat life, everyone's very similar, likes to do similar things. So it was a good little hang. We're taking full advantage of this heat wave. I did all the laundry today and everything dry. I did like 10 loads and literally each load dried within like an hour. Everything is done and it's not even dark yet. That's like the first time that's ever happened. It normally takes like a full day for like 2 loads of laundry to dry because everything's like so moist. We motored all day and we made water. We did the laundry. We used the sun. I think we took full advantage of using the engines, right? And I think we mentioned this already, but it is an extreme heat advisory today, tomorrow, yesterday, and we are roasting. You would think we would be used to it coming from the Caribbean, but it's so bad, and I don't know why it's so bad. The high is like, 95 today with a heat index of 110. So I guess that's why 110 is freaking hot. But we're gonna try something. Billy's gonna make some magic happen.
here, guys, in Washington,
Sitting on their free dock.
North Carolina. Finally cooled down a little bit. It was so freaking hot all day long.
How did you become a AC princess?
Well, now that we're reliant on it,
Hey, we haven't had
because
one
if
of
we
them.
didn't have it, if we didn't rely on it, we wouldn't be in North Carolina in July. We'd be in New England in July, and it'd be way cooler. I'm about to go for a little Lowe's visit to fix this issue, at least temporarily. Yes, Alisani? All right. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. All right, thank you very much.
Bye, thank you. Aha. How do you make it stay?
Ideas for that. I think I'm really pissing anyone off with this song. I just want to place it outside of this window. After a little templating, some rough jigsaw cuts, and a few mounting cleats using some small wood screws, here is the end result. Okay, that's fan. Cool.
So nothing shut down, so.
It's not bad at all. Yeah, our house loads are like 20 amps right now, so it's only drawing 20 amps DC. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it's calling. 170 bucks for the AC, 30 bucks for the saw because I don't have my dang jigsaw on the boat, and then like maybe 20 or 30 bucks for the plywood and screws, so 230 bucks. And I started, what time did I leave? Like 8 o'clock? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 8:20. 3 hours? Pretty good. Mm-hmm. We were dying, guys. The past few nights it's been so hot and uncomfortable, and the day even hotter. Like today was miserable.
Like we can't even touch each other. There was almost a point where we were sleeping separate.
Yeah, and I thought about one way cheaper solution would have been to just get like a battery powered fan, like a rechargeable fan, and put it like over our hatch, because there wasn't a breeze either. And I think at night was getting a little bit cooler, but it just wasn't coming through the boat. So if I just put that fan over our hatch to like exhaust or like input air into our hatch, that may have worked.
Except when it rains, you know, it's supposed to rain all week.
Or I was like, man, I was so close to booking an Airbnb for tonight. Like it was like right over here. It was only like 130 bucks for like a nice place, but that's only one night. So I was like, all right, so double that. Now we have AC until our domestic AC. Oh, I gotta write domestic on here.
Why would you do that?
Because it's funny. This is our domestic until our actual domestic gets to us.
I think you're so impressive.
This is like, it's like the jankiest like junkyard AC job ever, but
It's
all
cool.
it's just gotta last like a week, about a week.
So it's gotta last, we think, a week. It could be, we don't know. They said they think they're gonna ship it out one day.
Yeah.
We got the first amazing night's sleep last night that we've gotten in such a long time, and there is no better way to start the day than that. Another way we like to make sure we're feeling our best is eating right, but also supplementing our diet to making sure we're filling in any nutritional gaps. And we are so thankful for today's video sponsor, Gruns, because they help us do just that. Gruns are a convenient and comprehensive formula packed into 8 great tasting gummies. It's not just a multivitamin, greens, gummy, or probiotic. It's all of that and then some at a fraction of the price.
They offer a low sugar and a sugar-free option. We definitely prefer the sugar-free option. And Gruns are methylated, so the vitamins within the Gruns are actually absorbed by your body.
Did you know that over 90% of people are deficient in key nutrients and over 70% of people have gut issues? We eat a pretty clean diet with lots of fruits and veggies, and we're still slacking in some of these areas, so it's nice to know that Gruns helps fill the gaps. They're also just fun to eat. Like, how could you not smile eating a gummy bear?
And they really do taste good too.
And if you would like to try Gruns for yourself, then click the link in the description for up to 52% off. Thank you, Gruns, so much for sponsoring this video.
And now you guys are gonna come run some errands with us. We gotta go get some packages.
We'll be back. Love you. You got the AC cranking.
So here in Washington, you get 2 nights for free if there's space, which there was 1 spot for us. 2 nights for free, or 2 days for free on their town dock here. We got a bunch of packages delivered here. You guys, we get questioned all the time about like, how do we get mail when we're living on the boat? A lot of times we get it sent to friends or family who are around the country who we know we're going to be to next, and they'll like hold on to it. But when we're not by friends or family, we make use of Amazon lockers and Amazon like drop-off. So there's a CVS here that's like an Amazon delivery spot. So we got some Amazon packages delivered to CVS we'll go pick up, and we look for like private mailrooms. So there's a place here called Postcode Junction, and they charge $5 a package to get delivered for you, and then you can pick it up from them. So that's what we did for the other stuff that we didn't get on Amazon. So with the free docks here, they have a couple bikes that you're allowed to borrow. So we're gonna go borrow the bikes to get up there.
We're going to Postcode Junction. Keep cranking for her.
What?
That's awesome that they let us borrow them.
Which one you want? The non-mountain bike?
Doesn't matter.
I guess those are bikes we're taking.
Wrong bikes.
Ah, look at these things.
Sweet! That's awesome.
Quarter-inch probably. How nice?
Yeah. Geez, this is awesome. I wish every single town we went to did free docks and free bikes because this makes everything so much easier. Like, we can get groceries, we can get our packages, we could just go for and enjoy a ride.
Make a left at the next stop. Can I just lock them to each other?
Wow, every single person in that mailroom was like the nicest person ever. Even the UPS driver was like having a whole chat with us. And he was super sweet. And the lady that gave us the packages, she was like doing everything she could to help us, taking our boxes. We had to mail something. She's like, let's repurpose this. She was just so nice. It's so nice to be around nice, friendly people. Next up, Amazon locker. So we got all of our packages at CVS. One of our packages was missing. However, it seemed like it was an Amazon issue because on our order, we were at the right place. It said delivered, except when you go to the tracking, it says it was delivered to a store like 30 minutes away, even though we put in the right store. So I guess we'll just try to get a refund on that. And then we found a produce place on the way back. And they had lots of fresh produce. We got lots of peaches and eggs and fresh bread and tomatoes, and it all looks so good. Juicy tomatoes. Got chicken pot pie, quiche. I usually make this stuff, but it looked really good. So we figured they were frozen. They could be good freezer meals. Success so far. Guys, we love waterfront towns with great sidewalks. Makes it easy to walk jetty, makes it easy to go out for a run. And I will say, when there is no reprieve to go in the AC, you don't want to work out. You don't want to add any extra heat to your body. So we've been slacking the past week because it's not comfortable, and not even is it just not comfortable. Like, if you can't jump in the water, it could like not be safe, especially for Jetty, like taking her out here. So knowing that I'm going back and the boat's gonna be cool, back to being a very, very happy camper. And like, not only that, but we love to exercise. So like, when there's something that's extra preventing us from doing it, definitely affects our mood. Not a bad spot at all to get off the boat, to get on the boat. It's free. You really can't beat it. Except we did find a cockroach last night, so that is not cool. But besides that, hi. Are you so much happier? Oh, baby girl. Yesterday was rough, huh? Is that so much better? Yeah. Okay, first night's sleep with your new janky AC. I woke up at 7 and we had 45% left.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not bad. It doesn't get all the coldness like into our room. It's just like not efficient that way. Like, it definitely gets this whole area like nice and cool, and down that hallway nice and cool. But yeah, we have to turn it down a little bit more to be able to get, you know, decent coolness in our room.
However, I did wake up freezing.
Like, by the morning, it definitely got the whole place cold. Didn't draw as much as I thought it was going to. So it's drawing like something like 30, a little less than 30 amps DC, 12 volt, which it really isn't bad at all. You know, there's something to be said for, well, the way that our AC worked, when it worked, was amazing, especially because it has variable speed and which allowed it to have its own eco mode, which then it draws basically the same as that. It was like around 30 amps when it was cycled on. So that's really good to have that, and then also have the capacity to have a full 18,000 BTUs that will cool the whole boat when you have it on full blast. But there's something to be said about these simple, cheap household things that don't require a seawater pump and a sea strainer and a through hole and all this stuff. I don't know, I think in the past, like, I'm always like marine, like it should be meant for marine, like marine grade, marine product, like marine air conditioner. Yeah, because it's more efficient, because you're using seawater to transfer that heat, and that's gonna be a way more efficient transfer of heat than strictly by air. But
you're being converted.
In the past year or two, I'm definitely being a little bit like converted. Like, I think there's a balance, there's an in-between somewhere there, because we've seen a lot of these marine and I'm not saying the AC, like,
refrigerators and ovens and sinks.
Exactly, yeah, refrigerators, ovens, sinks, like, these marine grade things don't work well, so there's no...
And they're like 5 times as expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some of... And again, I think there's a balance. I think there's places where marine appliances should be used. They are high quality, they do work well, they are all stainless and stuff like that. And then maybe there's marine appliances that don't work well and they're not high quality, even if they do have a stainless steel, this component or that component. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm kind of falling back. I think there's just a balance there. I think you could use marine appliances in certain scenarios, and then maybe household appliances are just fine in other scenarios. And again, like, I don't... Not trying to compare it to our Dometic AC because it broke. Because when it worked, I think that was it. Like, that thing was awesome. But it used technology to work really well and to be able to do what it was meant to do. But then that technology broke, and now we're out without an AC just because of that technology. Another thing to think about too is like redundancy. Like, obviously we've been putting ourselves in situations that, like, we really want this AC to work, because we're used to it now. Instead of like cruising with the seasons, we're like a little bit behind the season. So now we're in July in North Carolina and it's a freaking hot. Whereas if we didn't rely on the air conditioner, we could be in New England at least, or even Maine in July, and that would be perfectly fine.
When you have it, you base your plans assuming you have it.
Yeah, and you kind of rely on it, when if you didn't have it, you could have adjusted your plans to have never needed it in the first place. But yeah, I mean, this past year down in the Caribbean, it was so nice. Like, Grenada, last hurricane season, all summer long, would have been absolutely miserable.
I would have quit.
Like, people do it.
I would have quit.
We did it on adrenaline, and we did it, but it's, yeah, like, I don't know,
we're getting older.
We're getting old and soft, like.
But no.
We've done it, though. We've done it for freaking, 12 years now?
And we were talking to someone the other day, and they're like, how long have you guys done this? Like, that's a really long time. Most people don't last that long. We're like,
yeah.
Huh.
Most people don't. Like, especially full-time. Like.
And especially if you're living the way we live for the first 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah.
We were young enough where it was like, cool, this is awesome. And now it's like...
It was the only way we could do it, so we did it, and it was amazing. I don't know, we did it with how we could do it and how we could afford it, and now we've done that. We don't prefer to do it that way anymore, that camping style, that rustic style, so we prefer a little bit more comfort now. And I guess at the very least, it's allowing us to live this lifestyle through 12 years of full-time living on a boat.
When we say we're done with this, like, a rustic camping style, like, we still do that kind of stuff, but we just want to be cool at night, or if we're stuck sitting on the computer all day long and the computers are radiating heat. Last summer, like, a lot of our stuff broke because it was so hot during the day. Like, we had AC at night, but, like, my computer broke, and literally they told me, like, the insides kind of just, like, melted because it was so hot. We broke tons of GoPros and your phone, and it was literally like a heat thing, so... We may be getting a little softer, but we're still adventurous.
Yeah, we're still out here.
And tough. Are you not tough anymore?
When I have to be. Saving up for when I have to be.
Guys, we just spent a full-on, 2 months without it, so.
Closer to 3.
Closer to 3. And a lot of that time was in Panama, Honduras, the Keys, Florida, North Carolina, in a heat wave. So for now, We may look a little, I don't know how you want to call it. Not to bash trailer parks, but people say like trailer parks. We look a little trailer parkish, but it works.
Let me just clarify a few things. I don't think this is a solution for cruising at all. Like, I think there's a place possibly on boats for residential, like, regular appliances, but this whole thing is not one of them. Like, no way. Maybe if you're living aboard at a marina, like, that'll work for you, for whatever.
Or in a boatyard.
Or in a boat, definitely in a boatyard, for sure. For, like, full-time cruising, offshore sailing, stuff like that, no way.
I mean, you could, like, if you had you had enough storage where that lives somewhere and it just goes in and it goes out.
Oh yeah, like if you could store it and then like you had it on your boat for like when you're in a boatyard, that'd be great, because I don't know if you guys know, but you can't use a marine AC system in a boatyard because it requires seawater to go through it. You can rent this like big cooling tower that'll allow you to do that, but that can be pretty expensive to do in a boatyard. But I think my point is that, like, honestly, on our future boat, I would consider like a mini split unit where there is a dedicated space for the compressor, and then you have your air handler or whatever. And I think that would be a scenario where, I mean, I've never seen like a catamaran with it, or that it would work on a catamaran, but I think there is a boat, maybe a trawler or something, where you could find the right space for that, and that would actually work really well. And that would actually work really well in combination with maybe a marine AC unit. So now you have some redundancy, and you have this thing that's already installed that when you are hauled out, you still have air conditioner on a boat through this mini split unit. This thing definitely has its limit. It's only 5,000 BTUs, and now it's the middle of the day and it's getting super hot, and it's definitely keeping the inside of the cabin comfortable, but it's definitely not like cold in here at the moment. So
you need to come sit next to me. You should sit there because where I am,
right on
I'm nice and comfortable.
Okay, maybe I'll move over a little. But it does have its limit, especially at 5,000 BTUs.
My seat right here is pretty dang nice. Okay, we've been talking about how awesome the dock is so we can plug in and run the AC and not die. However, the biggest downfall of being on a dock. Are you ready for it? Bugs. It's so easy for bugs to just climb on the lines and climb right on the boat. But that's a small price to pay. We just got a phone call. Or you just called for an update.
Called for an update. Our AC has been shipped. Our real AC, not the Fomatic. The Domatic. I've been trying to think of a name for this. Like the Domatic or the Dumatic or the Dometic substitute, or...
And you need some work on it.
Yeah, it's not my strongest suit.
While we're at it, you want to give an update on the warranty work?
It's so frustrating. We have two major things that we're trying to get addressed under warranty. One of the biggest being the decks themselves. Obviously, we've talked to you guys about that. We're gonna go with cork, and we're between two cork companies. One of them, it seemed like it was possible for them to do the work in the time frame that we've been trying to schedule for the past few months, like since like January.
Which is the sea cork, which we told you about in the video that we made.
But now it seems like they're not able to do it within that scheduled time period, which is fair enough. They were like a little bit shorter notice and like just not able to make it happen. We're still considering them, just in another time period. And then there's another cork product called Navi Cork, so we're looking at that as well. They have a different distributor, different installers, so we're just weighing those two options. They seem like very similar products, but the main thing and the most frustrating thing is that we have a lot more like little issues and many ongoing issues. Honestly, most of them were ongoing since like the last warranty period over a year ago, and they've just been pushing them off, saying, oh, we'll get it done when they're doing these decks or whatever, like during that time period.
Which was also on our schedule.
Yeah, which we were kind of okay with because, yeah, just so that it didn't interrupt our cruising, but
now we made it to be here.
But for the past few months, since like January or February, we're like, all right, we decided, honestly, partially because of this warranty work and this deck stuff, that we're not going through the Panama Canal, we're not going to the Sea of Cortez. Seawind said it would be easier to do this work in the States, but then it turned out like they can't get their people to get visas to come in the States, and now since January or February, around that time, we've been trying to schedule like, all right, guys, July would be a good period. Let's make it happen in July.
But it's always been July. From last year, it was July.
Yeah,
it just
even last year, we were looking at this time period. We were looking at generally hurricane season, July, August, and then specifically July for months. Suddenly, sounds like Seawind has a good shipwright that they want to send to do the work, which is great. We want, I think they understand how important it is for them to have a really good shipwright, because we have had experiences with warranty work on this boat in the past that was not good. Now that shipwright is available, but he's not available in July. So despite months of shooting for this period, now it's like, all right, not till August. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's just, it's just so frustrating. It's like no matter how much you try to plan, how far in advance you try to plan, because we're trying to manage our lives, but also like this is our business, this is our lives. Honestly, if we had different lives, we could just like, all right, put the boat in the Chesapeake, put it in this yard in the Chesapeake, and if it's not July, that's fine, it's going to be in the yard, it'll get done in August, whatever. But that's not reality for us. Reality is we're on the boat full-time, we're cruising full-time, and we're trying to make, cool things. We're trying to show you guys the cool, fun things that we like to do. So we can't just sit in the yard for 2 months or whatever, we gotta plan around that. So like, I don't know, I'm just so frustrated right now, that's all I have to say.
The other big thing was like, yes, like we are kind of managing our lives around this. So we had been saying for months now, July, North Carolina or Virginia. So we made sure we got here in June, like multiple weeks ahead of time. So we're here in June, we're just waiting for the confirmation of where to go, when to go. We're just here, and we've been here many times. So like, we do love North Carolina. However, the whole reason we're on this boat is to do new and exciting and cool things. So the fact that we're just stuck here waiting in a place we've been multiple times before is not super fun or interesting to film. So with this latest update, it looks like nothing's getting done in July. So we're gonna say, screw it. I think we're just gonna head to Maine. So we've never been to Maine via the boat. We would really love to go to Nova Scotia. However, that's a whole nother issue with our insurance. They don't want to approve us in Nova Scotia, and this other port company is in Maine. So we could be there and that could all work out, and we could see new places and do new things, and that is exciting for us. Not super excited to do lots of long offshore stuff. However, it will be worth it because we're going somewhere new. Fingers are crossed that will all work out, and fingers are crossed that this AC gets here on Monday, and then fingers are crossed that we get some good weather so we can get there, so we have enough time to actually spend if we're sailing that far. Because if we sail that far and then we don't have enough time to explore and it's just for the warranty work, then that's a lot of offshore sailing just to be there. But either way, it'll be worth it. If we have to stay in a place, we can at least stay somewhere new, rent a car, and go hike and explore around there. So that is at least the bright side of that. Our 2 free days on the town dock are up, so we are splurging and spending our remaining time here on the paid town dock so we can plug in and continue running our latest edition at full blast all day long. There certainly could be worse places to be stuck, and we have fallen in love with this cute and quaint waterfront town. We love to learn a little bit about the history in the towns we get to stop in, so here's a little history lesson for you. Washington, North Carolina is also known as Little Washington. It was founded in the late 1700s and was the first town in the US named after George Washington. It was a very important shipping port thanks to its spot along the Pamlico River, and during the 18th and 19th centuries it was a hub for shipbuilding and trade, especially in naval stores like tar and pitch, which were used to waterproof wooden ships. As wooden shipbuilding declined in the mid-1800s, the arrival of the railroad connected the port to inland markets and helped fuel industrial growth. Mills and factories began popping up, including the historic John Havens Moss Mill, which processed lumber and other goods for shipping. As times continued to change, Washington continued to adapt. Today, you can enjoy an ice-cold beer with a view of the water from Pitt Street Brewing, which so happens to be in the same building as the old John Havens Moss Mill. The history of Washington seems to have been preserved and cherished and can certainly be felt and seen today.
That's so funny.
You have something on your face.
Maya.
It's in your beard. Okay, the Malberry House, how would you rate it?
My scale or conventional Google Maps scale?
Both.
My scale, 4 out of 5. If you put it on Google Maps scale, maybe it'd be like a 4.2 out of 5.
Okay.
Pretty good, especially for money. Value for money.
Yeah, I think one place we went wrong was we ordered butter chicken, and we love Indian food, and we go to a lot of Indian food places. My best friend is Indian. I've had some really good homemade Indian food, so getting Indian food not at an Indian restaurant, not the greatest thing.
It was fried chicken and butter chicken.
Which
we're in the South, so
yeah, it was good. It just wasn't what we were expecting in
it was
terms
very
of
spicy.
butter chicken, and it was hot.
The burger was good. The crab cake was tasty, but kind of just okay still.
Yeah, I would say the burger was great. Fries were great. If you have never considered getting 2 meals and sharing them, like we always get, I get something, he gets something, we eat half of it, and then we switch plates. That's how it always.
But
I
most
can
of the time.
probably count on 2 hands the amount of time in the past 12 years that
It's
we
only if we
haven't done
can't
that.
agree on what we want to try.
Which we always can. So we normally get 2 different things, eat half, switch it, and then you get to try 2 different meals, which is the best. So there's your tip of the day. If you can switch plates with your partner, good idea. We did not show you the brown butter pecan gelato atop of a brownie, and that was delicious. Okay, bye. Whoa.
Well, so much moss on it. Growth. Algae.
Hello, little
Look at that
turtles.
little tiny guy right there.
Underwater. It's been a minute since we played pickleball. This shall be interesting. But I've kept them on the boat for the past like 2 years, hoping that we would find a court to play, but there were not any courts along our journey in the Caribbean. I'm sure there were some somewhere, so we finally get to use them. Do you think you're gonna win?
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna win?
Probably not, but
Well,
I'm gonna try.
it's hard to win when you don't have the confidence.
You're just so good at everything.
No, I'm not.
Except for bowling. That I am usually better at.
Guess who came back in round 2? Me.
It's a good comeback. Good comeback.
So he won one, I won one. We're too tired and too hot to play a tiebreaker round.
Tomorrow. I'm not too tired or too hot. I'll go back right now. It's just getting late.
It's late, we haven't eaten, and there was people waiting for the court. So we're making our walk back to Jetty Girl. We already gave you a little bit of history about Washington, but I think how nice and cruiser-friendly their current waterfront and downtown is needs some special attention.
How nice is this downtown area?
I know, it's so cute and like
Clean.
Over the past 5 years, Washington has been actively investing in waterfront revitalization projects. They have been awarded numerous grants aimed at enhancing public access, resilience, and historic character along the riverfront. While doing so, they are also protecting against future storm and flood risk and doing what they can to enhance wildlife habitats and water quality. We both grew up in waterfront towns and have visited countless along our travels, but Washington stands out among the top for how clean, walkable, charming, and cruiser-friendly it is. Did we mention free dockage, free bikes, miles of safe sidewalks and boardwalks, and a place to dispose of trash and waste responsibly? Safe to say, we do highly recommend a visit here. Hold on, you're stuck on the cleat. You are stuck on it.
Alright, you guys, we got our replacement air conditioner, and we just looked up when we dropped it off. It was exactly 42 days ago. So 42 days later, we got it. Now, they made it a point, we have to have this installed by a Dometic certified installer, so we're gonna get that Dometic certified installer here and make sure it's installed correctly so that if we have a warranty issue in the future, that we don't have any issues with that. Alright guys, so what could have been the potential original problem to this unit is one of these, or some of these sensors and wires were touching just like this on the compressor and rubbing and chafing and getting hot or whatever, just like they are right now. So I'm very, very, very surprised that they didn't change that or protect these wires or anything like that. So we're gonna go in, put some electrical tape on them, and we're gonna use some zip ties and hold them off of any moving parts and any compressor, anything like that. So hopefully we don't have that problem in the future.
Because we don't want to be out of an AC again for 42 days.
And just like that, our certified Dometic air conditioner installer installed it, and it's working. And it's cold in here. It was freezing last night, amazing to sleep in. So they did such a great job, and we got AC back, our proper marine AC. Now we got to take this thing out.
And most importantly, we were able to snuggle last night because even this, which was amazing and kept like the salon cool, it was still difficult for it to get in our room. And one night we even slept separate because our room was a little still toasty. We're back to be able to touch more than just our pinkies together.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you Gruns for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out the link in the description for up to 52% off.